Improv Andy, here we are. We are live. And good meeting you. Here's my digital business card. You need my sales skills. Why? Because you are in the business of selling. Everybody is in the business of selling. Everybody needs what I have.
So what Nancy has just shown you is not consultative selling. That is called pitch slapping. And so let's turn it back around on Nancy and say, so Nancy, when you think about consultative selling, what does that mean to you? How do you think about that?
What I think about that, Andy, is that it's really about listening intently to your prospect, to the other person. And it isn't actually about the selling so much as it is about the consultation. The selling comes if there is, during the time that you're exchanging communication, there's something that suggests that the person has an interest to want to learn more. And then it's not selling my stuff. It may be selling an appointment for us to talk. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. And the thing I really like that you said is that there might be an opportunity for it. What consultative selling is having a conversation with someone and being attuned to things that you could help them with. And I think it's important too, Nancy, because I teach a lot of networking. And what people forget about networking is that if you're on a call with someone and they have a particular issue, you may know someone that can help them with that, right? And that is also helping them, right? It's not selling your services, but it's helping someone else. And I just had that. I was talking to a potential client this afternoon, and she's looking for help with blogging. And I know a bunch of people who write blogs for people. And so she's like, do you charge for that? I'm like, no, that's networking. Like, I'm going to refer them to you and you get to decide which one you like. But it's really nice. And she hasn't signed up for any of my stuff yet. I gave her some advice, but there was no, and I even said to her, I was like, it's not right for my program right now. Like, she's not in the right place for the program. And so I think it's important to draw that distinction. I think that's the distinction. I mean, that's what you were showing, Nancy, at the beginning. Like, everybody needs to learn how to sell. Everybody needs an elevator pitch. You need to work with me on your elevator pitch. Like, not everybody does need to work with me or wants to work with me on their elevator pitch. And so I think it's important to be aware of the people who do, right? You want to talk in a way that gets the right people excited about it.
Right.
But be aware that most people won't be sales prospects.
Yeah. So again, consultative selling. Emphasis more on the consultation than on the selling. Emphasis on listening, because we have two ears and one mouth. Use them in that proportion. I've heard that said many times. I'm sure you have too. So consultative selling. Oh, you hear my dog? She's right on cue. So you know what, Andy? I'm gonna throw the ball to you.
Excellent. Yeah. So when I think about consultative selling, I used to try really hard to sell. And now what I try really hard to do when I'm on the phone or Zoom with people is to learn about them, is to understand them, is to talk to them, is to get to know them. Right. I mean, these are all kind of exciting things and all good uses of your time. And that's really what I focus on now. I focus on getting to know them and understanding them and talking to them. And as I said, sometimes out of that, it turns out that they're a good client for me. Sometimes out of that, it turns out that someone I know would be, a good vendor for them. And I think it's important that the consultative part of it, right, and the part that we like, the reason people like networking is that I love being able to send somebody who can help them, right? It's really nice. And you see, at that point, I'm selling the other person, right? That, you're not just selling yourself, right? You can sell services of other folks that you know. And believe me, when you send people a few leads, they'll be excited to talk to you. Like, won't be able to wait to answer your phone call when you call them, right? I mean, it's a really nice way of connecting with people and a nice way of keeping people top of mind.
Yeah. The way to actually keep you top of mind is to make those introductions that help somebody else do business, that promotes someone else. And, as you said, Andy, and I think it's so true, the majority of the people that I work with find it so much easier to sell someone else or something else than to sell oneself. And I'll just share with you that, candidly, that's true for me. And hence, I never labeled my business Nancy Zare. The name of my business is Rapport Builders. So much easier to sell Rapport Builders than it is to sell Nancy Zare. Oh, and do you find the same thing true, Andy?
Well, I hadn't thought about it that way, but I do. I mean, I'm the elevator pitch coach. I don't sell Andrew Winnig consulting or anything. Like I'm the elevator pitch coach. I help people with their elevator pitch. I sell my power hour, right? There's a bunch of different things that I sell, and none of it is myself. And I think that's something I work with people on their elevator pitch too. That they're like, I don't like to promote myself, and like you're not promoting yourself. Like nobody really wants to understand about you. They want to understand the problem that you solve. And that's really what you're looking for. You're when you talk to people, you're just listening for things that they could need help with, and maybe you can help them. Maybe someone can help them. That to me is the consultative selling.
Yeah, and it is not about it's not about me. Good selling is about, again, listening to the other person, identifying their needs. You are doing a service by asking questions and helping that person frame the issue and understand exactly what it is that may be, tripping them up or that has to be overcome. You are actually rendering a good service by asking pointed, intelligent, questions that help them think it through and help them identify what's going on. Marketing, when you use the I word, you're off base. And really the best word to use is you.
Yeah. Yes, you is the best word. And it's interesting. And I was talking to someone just recently that it was the same kind of thing that we were talking about. Now I've forgotten what we were talking about. I knew it. So
about you or I, or did you forget the actual story you were about to share?
No, I know the person I was talking to, but I forget why I brought it up. You said something that triggered me on
about talking about you. That's the most important word in marketing is you.
Right. Yes. Well, it is the most important word is you. Yes, definitely. You want to be talking about them, but there was something else you said that made me think about something, but I've forgotten what it is. So let's move on. And and the thing too, the thing, Nancy, that I'm excited for you about is people talk about not wanting to sell themselves, but you've got a really nice approach that is part of what we're going to be teaching on April 17th about how to be more in tune with both yourself and the people that you're talking to. So it makes this much, you're no longer going to feel like selling is a dirty word or it's or you're pushy or braggy or any of that kind of stuff. That it really makes it feel more consultative, more like you're helping people. And that's really what you want to be doing. That's the best salespeople are helpers. That's how they do their work.
Yes, I agree. It is about helping people, and not about, again, what it is that I'm offered, but how I can be of service. And for those of you who are wondering, maybe you resonate. You don't want to be pushy, aggressive, and salesy. My approach is buyer oriented. And that's basically where Andy's coming from too. Is your message getting the attention of your buyer? And not only getting their attention, but like a magnet, pulling them in your direction so that they say to themselves, wow, I need to know more about what it is you do. That is what consultative selling means. It's to open that door to your prospect wanting to hear more.
Yes. Yeah, it's about, and the messaging and the messaging comes from both sides, right? The marketing messaging has to draw them in, and the sales messaging also has to draw them in. And again, it's not sales the way most people think of, sales, a 4-letter word kind of thing. It's about being authentic and resonating with them and talking the language that they expect to hear, right? I mean, I know so many people who think everyone buys the way that they buy. They're like, oh, well, I spend months thinking about this thing and looking at all different things, and then you miss out on the folks that are ready to pay you now. Like I say, I hate to disappoint people. If they're looking to give me their credit card, I want to be ready to take their credit card. So it's good to be, again, it's good to be aware of your style, and then good to be aware of other people's styles so that you can match the style correctly.
Yeah, and talking about match your style, that's exactly why we're here talking, to let you know about a program that you may find beneficial, match your message to your market. It's about knowing who the audience, the ideal prospect is, being able to identify their particular buying style, what are the words that resonate, the values that resonate with your audience, and then framing your message, especially that initial introductory message, because that's where people either say to themselves, I want to get to know you further, or they close the door and they say to themselves, oh, that's another, and they put a check mark next to your occupational category. You don't want to be a check mark. You want a neon lights flashing saying, get to know me, get to know me, get to know me.
Yep, and I'll say like that one of the really cool things about this workshop we're doing is that it's a roll up your sleeves kind of workshop. Like, you will leave with knowing your ideal market, knowing your ideal customer, and again, it's just not a sit down and think about it. We have exercises. You'll get at it really quickly, and you'll know exactly who they are and how to talk to them. And then we work through a bunch of different messaging for those clients. And so again, it's not that there's. If you want to be one of the featured people, we have some stuff you can do in advance to send us the information we need, and we share that with the folks that sign up. But anybody who comes, you'll actually learn a lot. You'll learn how to figure out what their styles are. You'll figure out your style, then we'll work on the messaging that matches those styles. So, Nancy, I'm so excited to work with you on this.
Me too. And just to remind people, April 17th, the seats are filling up. We want you to be present. It is a workshop with a lot of fun, a lot of elements of surprise and inspiration. And as Andy says, you're going to leave with practical stuff. So match your message to your market. Andy just put in the chat there the link. Please join us. Anything more?
Nope, I think that's great. It's going to be really fun, and again, I love the clarity of it. Right, it's like knowing what your focus is, knowing what your message is focused on. That makes it really easy to put together all your marketing materials and bring people in. And again, you'll walk away with this with a lot of clarity on the work that you're doing.
And I just realized, Andy, we never introduced ourselves. So for those who are wondering, as we are saying sayonara for right now, goodbye, I'm Dr. Nancy Zier. I am the sales whisperer.
I'm Andrew Winnig. I am the elevator pitch coach, and we look forward to seeing you and working with you on April 7th.